because social media give you to the people get a great connection with the artist. And now you don't care the studio, you don't care the artist. You're looking for the artist. It's a beautiful moment. I think in this moment in the industry, the artists have the opportunity to grow in their own business, own name. You don't need 4 walls to create your brand, because social media give you the opportunity to be the right person, to be you, to show what you can do it. And now you can be your own brand.
Hey guys, what's good? And welcome to the COSIGN Life. If you're watching this video, that means you co-sign us and we co-sign you. So here are a couple of ways to support us at COSIGN Magazine. Number 1, view the description below, click the link, and purchase an issue of COSIGN Magazine. Just like this one right here, physical. You can purchase this. Number 2, you can also support us by purchasing COSIGN merch. Hit the link below and it'll take you to all our past merch items, and we'd love to have your support and see you wear COSIGN Magazine.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the episode of COSIGN Conversations. Today we are joined by world-renowned tattoo artist Yomico Moreno. How you doing, my brother?
Hey man, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me take part in this your program. So it's amazing to be here. Thank you.
Nah, for sure, man. I appreciate it. I read your bio that you have an amazing career and you're still going. But I want to know more about you, right? So outside of being a tattoo artist, whom is Yomico? What are you into and what do you enjoy?
Yeah, man, it's a good question. So I think Yomico is a guy who's trying to be an artist. I remember when I'm a childhood, I always dreams to be an artist, because I started drawing when I was super shy. Every time when all my friends go play out with the basketball, I was just sit down drawing all the time. It was my dream being an artist. So right. I think I'm a dreamer, and Yomico Moreno is a guy that he's trying to be an artist every day, because the art is a career that non-stop. So every day you have to do new challenge. And also he's a guy who's trying to be a good father, good husband, good son. He's trying to be the best that I can. That's me. That's Yomico Moreno.
For sure, that's important. That's important. But I always like to go back to somebody's like first start, right? Do you remember the first tattoo you did, like who it was?
Man, it's funny. It's a funny story, because I come from Venezuela. My first tattoo was probably 17 years ago. It was to my cousin. He passed away 2 years ago, but it was to him, because he always see me drawing every time. And one of his friends borrowed a handmade tattoo machine.
Okay.
And he told me, "Hey, let's try. You're super good drawing. Let's try this." But back in the time, tattoo was now it looks cool, tattoo. But back in the time, tattoo, people see tattoo like the mafia style, like gangster style. Back in the time, it was super difficult. It was my first experience with the tattoo, like connection between the skin and the machine. It was super, handmade machine, nothing professional. Right. But the good thing and the fun is my second tattoo was me. Okay. I practiced by myself. Yeah, I take my leg. I say, I need to practice with me, and start to practice by myself. It was pretty difficult, but back in the time, my parents was pretty scary, because I want to be a tattoo artist, and they said, "So why tattoo artist? It's a mafia style, gangster. You need to study. You need to go to the school. You need to be professional." And I told her, "Yeah, I'm gonna be professional in my career."
That's what's up. So speaking of Venezuela, you actually moved from Venezuela to Switzerland to work, right? What led you to make that move, and what led you to create that decision to move to Switzerland to work?
Yeah, when I moved to Switzerland, I was started working already in a tattoo studio. But always was, because back in the time, I always watched the magazine. 15 years ago was super difficult. It's not like today. Today you have social media, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have too much information now. But back in the time, all the information what we got, especially in Venezuela, was the magazines. In those magazines, I always saw how the tattoo culture in Europe was super strong, tattoo convention, biggest name in the tattoo industry. I say, oh, I want to see that. I want to touch that. And
Right.
was why my decision to leave Venezuela to see how the tattoo industry, how is the culture in another country. It was amazing because that opened the door for me for my international career. After Switzerland, I went to Denmark. In Denmark, I met some friends. And some friends were working in tattoo studio, and they invited me to take part of the International Tattoo Convention in Denmark. In that place, I won the first place, like a best realistic artist. And this opened so many doors to me after that, because now after that, I started to get some more invitation to convention, to international show. But it was a risk because, I always say, I need to take risks in this career, especially again back in the time. Be a
Right.
tattoo artist is not like today. Today is cool, but back in the
Right.
time was like it was the journey was actually more difficult than today. But it was amazing because I learned a lot. I learned a lot, so many lessons for
No,
that back in the time.
for sure. And I know you won a lot of awards from these conventions, but in your life or in your career, what has been like the most rewarding aspect of your career this far?
Yeah, I think the London Convention
Okay.
was the biggest show in the world.
Okay.
I say was because after the COVID, they finished the show. But in 2017, we won the first place on London Convention. This
Okay.
convention is super strong, back in the time, it was super hard to win that convention because the top name in the industry went to that convention, was the level. In that convention, I did a collaboration with a team called the Rat Pad. Rat Pad, it was a collective. And we did 6 artists at the same time, the full back piece.
Okay.
And that situation bring back to the tattoo industry this new style to create. Is that not to start to get collaboration together. They started the 90 years was so many layers of Porbu, guy, so they start this. But in the new generation, this they didn't see it too much. After we won the London Convention, you start to see how many artists do the same formula. That's beautiful because we read back, this character to make that tattoo convention to the industry, and we're back to here.
So talk to us more about the conventions, like the importance of attending conventions, and like, are there any monetary prizes with it, or what's the benefits for the community to go to these conventions and participate?
Yeah, man. Tattoo convention for me is always like is a celebrate the tattoo industry. In this convention, in this place, it's like you have 3 days because normally they do a weekend. You had the opportunity to meet your favorite artists. You see face to face your friends. Also, you see so many good artists in the industry doing tattoo in that moment. Also, you can see how they do it, how the technique. So you learn a lot. You learn a lot in tattoo convention. Also, you had the opportunity to stretch the hand of so many beautiful artists, so many good people, so many friends. It's a beautiful experience. That's what I love convention. It's not only for us, it's for us like a tattoo artist, we learn a lot, but from people who follow the industry, people who follow and love the industry, you're gonna see it's a party of tattoos, because you see the tattoo artists doing tattoo in that moment, and you can see different artists, beautiful pieces. It's amazing. I love conventions. It's a beautiful place to people who love the tattoo culture go there because they're gonna see amazing, amazing pieces, amazing artists, amazing conference. And also you see real tattoo because now the tattoo it's crazy because after social media, you see how many tattoos start to be famous pieces. And I say, oh, look at this piece, look at this. Oh, I saw this piece on Instagram. And you have the opportunity to see face to face. That tattoo is amazing. It's like a go to the museum, kind of like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And speaking about like social media and everything, you've done a lot of celebrity clients, right? What would you say? I guess who was like the first celebrity client that kind of like helped you grow your business, or that you worked with that kind of like put a spotlight on what you do?
Yeah, I always say what the celebrity do. So when you work with celebrity, it's amazing because of course they have a big voice. People see you work. When you work with some celebrity, you have more view. You have more people attend what you're doing.
Right.
But at the same time, for me, is the tattoo or the artist get our own value, and the value is no, it's because the celebrity get tattoo with you, because the celebrity come with you because you already do a good job.
Right.
You know, it's not the opposite. It's not
Right.
the celebrity give you your talented.
Right.
You had the talent already, but the celebrity come to you is because you did something cool, and they want you, and they want to work with you, and that's amazing. And of course, work with celebrity is a huge opportunity to people see that it's a really help in their career, because people see your work, people see what you do, and people that probably don't have idea who you are in other countries, they will see you because the celebrity is the connection with that. But at the same time, it's amazing because you know face to face, you have really good connection on the human part or the human side of those people, no? Because we growing up watching people in the TV on the music industry. You always, and when you have face to face, and you had the opportunity to sit down with those people for 6 hours, 5 hours, hoping 2-3 days. Now you start to do connection with the human person.
Right.
Now, and that's cool, man. It's beautiful because, and that moment you realize that, bro, everyone is the same. You know, we're humans. We're human. Sometimes we see the celebrity like, whoa, something untouchable. But when you go there, you see that people, they fear, they're scary. It's the same, you know, it's the same to us, but the only difference we see the TV every time. But it's beautiful because we create super cool connection with celebrity. But it's not the celebrity. I have super interesting people in my world every day.
Right.
For example, my client today, she is a girl. She is forensic psychiatry. Imagine that, you know, how many interesting stories that she has.
Right.
And also I have doctors, psychiatry, police, you know, people so different career. It's super cool listening the story to each one, because each one have a super good, interesting story. And it's amazing. My career gave me the opportunity to touch the human side of the people, and that's beautiful for sure.
No, for sure. Like, I definitely agree that, you know, celebrities and athletes and music artists are just all people. So like once you take away all the, you know, the glamour and the glitz, they're just like, you know, they're just like us. But you have your own style that people come to you for. That's why you're super successful, right? How would you describe your style of tattooing and, you know, and what attracts people to you?
I think one of the points that I try in my tattoos, because I see my tattoo like a painting, like a art, like a beautiful piece of painting. That's what I try to see in my work. It's not only duplicate a photo. It's not only duplicate something. It's try to catch the sense. It's try to catch something, and this putting in tattoo. That's what I want. Is when people see my tattoo, I want they feel something behind that. I want the people when see it, they feel something like kind of story. That's what, because I think that's the meaning on the art. The meaning on the art is when you touch the soul of the people. That's why one song could be live forever. You know, you see some of that, I know, John Lennon, Queen, Freddie Mercury. This guy create beautiful song, because when you connect with that song, they stay forever. The same way painting. This guy like Caravaggio, that they create beautiful pieces, and they survive the time because they connect with the people. I think that's one of the main part of the art. That's what I try to do in my style, is create surrealistic stories. But when the people see that, they can feel something. They can feel some kind of connection, even in the darker part. Because sometimes I do like a pretty darker story, or like you know, like a creepy maybe.
Right.
But you can find something beautiful in that too. So it's I try to bring the beauty from the darkness. So that's what I try to represent in my tattoos. Is people feel something, feel the art. That's what I try to do. I think that's the main part of my work.
For sure. What's the, I guess, what's technically like the art and science behind it? Because your tattoos are really realistic, right? And not everybody has that skill. So it's like, how do you transition from, you know, from letterings and, you know, templates to the style you're doing? Like, what's that type of process and science behind it?
Yeah, I mean, it's normally it's for the photography helped me a lot. Or painting, of course, painting for all time. I was painting so many times, and now I start to taking the photography like a part of my career. The photography helped me to understand how the condition, how control the light, how control colors, and how I can use this to put in my tattoos. I have been super hard because my style is realistic, but at the same time, I try to incorporate some surreal elements.
Okay.
And that moment is when you try to use your imagination to create some story, and that story creates to the surrealistic part. I think that's the element that was you. Also, I need a cool story. So normally when the client send me the idea, hey, I want to get this project, I always ask, okay, what you want to represent that? When the client told me I want to represent this, okay, let's do it. Or maybe I sometimes send me some different idea, random idea. I can tell you, hey, maybe this idea is no good, but we can do this in that way. I try to make a cool direction together. Because tattoo is like kind of collaboration. It's different to painting. Because one artist painting, they create all art. They take the canvas and they create all art. This totally use the painting. But tattoo is collaboration between the person who owns the tattoo and the artist. It's not only my 100%. It has to be collaboration together, because you need to be happy when you see your tattoo every day. You need to feel happy, and the artist needs to feel happy to do it too. So it's a beautiful collaboration between two persons creating art. That's I think this beautiful connection.
Nah, for sure. That's an amazing explanation. So let's talk about more like the business behind tattooing, right? So you moved to Brooklyn, right? And you have your studio there?
Yeah, my studio is here.
What made you choose like Brooklyn to create your studio, and why the city of Brooklyn?
Man, I have been living in New York for 7 years already. I was working in Manhattan before, but every time I come to Brooklyn, I feel like I don't know, that beautiful energy. You go to this Brooklyn street, you see graffiti, you see the people in Brooklyn, they are how they are. They don't pretend to be nothing. In Brooklyn is you see people with red hair, blue hair, piercing, tattoo, graffiti, rapper, rockers. It's a community that everyone live together. Everyone is beautiful place. It's artistic place. That's why I say I want to open my place in Brooklyn, because you feel the energy. You feel the artistic energy in the street, in the people. Every little bar, you go to a bar and take a beer in Brooklyn, and you see painting, you see music. It's all the community live here together, and we can live together here in this community. That's what I love Brooklyn. Manhattan is cool, but Manhattan is more like business guy. Manhattan is more for people, gender, people, business people. That's cool. That's amazing. But for me, Brooklyn give me this kind of soul, that artistic part. That's what I love Brooklyn. Have you been here?
Yeah. I've been to Brooklyn a couple of times, more like the Flatbush and Park Slope area.
On Bushwick?
Yeah, well, Park Slope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have some family out there.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. I love Brooklyn.
Yeah, I love Brooklyn.
Oh, that's good.
Let's talk about transitioning from like a tattoo artist to a studio owner, right? What advice would you give somebody who wants to make that transition? Because one thing from being an artist, but then being an artist and a business owner. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to own their own studio?
Man, it's a good question, because it's super hard being an artist and being a businessman. It's a really hard balance. I think that's the reason why so many artists lose their career, lose his career, because when you try to be an artist and you try to be a businessman, it's super difficult. I think one of the first mistakes when you try to be artist and business, you have to make a balance. If you put in too much time in the business part, you can lose your artistic part. And you can never lose the artistic part, because the artistic part is the reason that you are here. You always need to be good here, but try to get a balance here. If you put in too much energy to be a businessman, if you lose the artistic, one day everything's gonna be gone. But if you always keep the artistic part, and maybe the business is gonna be down, up, down, up, but you're always gonna be your art in your hand to make you survive every moment. So for me, be an artist is the first. So for me, be an artist is my main goal, is make my art better, create beautiful piece, make my growing up every day, I'm learning every day. That's my main thing. And now to be a business guy, you need a good team for sure. You cannot do it by yourself, never. So never you're gonna be a super successful business guy by yourself. So you need to have the attitude, but you need to find a really good team that you can trust, and then you can say, okay, let's work together, because you cannot do this by yourself. You can do you are by yourself, but when you try to be a business, you need a good team to support you. Say, okay, let's push this together. I think it's the balance. The key is the balance. Now is everything. If you have the balance, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be too much stress. It's gonna be so many headaches. Don't sleep. But in one moment, if you have the right team, everything's gonna flow. Without any restriction. So you're gonna have a good team. Everything can work if you do it together.
No, it makes sense. So when would you say is a great time to step out on their own once they find their team, or what other like attributes will come along to where you feel like, okay, now it's a good time for you to become,
Yeah, I think now in this moment, the tattoo industry is in one of the best moments. It's a beautiful moment for artists, because back in the time, you have tattoo, maybe you remember,
right.
Back in the time, you went to the studio just for the studio name, but you don't care who was the artist. You go to the studio, I want to get this tattoo. Oh, who's gonna get it? This guy. But you don't remember the name of the artist back in the time, or maybe you don't know. Right. You meet at the moment when you sit down, but before that, you don't know who was to be the artist who got you tattoo before. Right. But now it's the opposite, because social media give you to the people get a great connection with the artist, and now you don't care the studio. You don't care the artist. You're looking for the artist. It's a beautiful moment. I think in this moment in the industry, the artists have the opportunity to grow in their own business, own name. You don't need 4 walls to create your brand, because social media give you the opportunity to be the right person, to be you, to show what you can do it. And now you can be your own brand. You can create your own brand. Look at you create your own brand, just social media. And maybe 20 years ago was difficult. 20 years ago was different. You go to studio, you need to go to what's more. But now everyone have the opportunity to be a brand. Right. So you have to be smart. You need to find the right team. You need to find the right moment and take time, because it's not like, tomorrow I gotta be, no. Everything takes time, step by step, but it's a beautiful moment that we're living now.
Nah, for sure. And one thing I'll also get before we close is you've evolved into teaching seminars and hosting workshops. What's like one thing you really push at these seminars to your students or to class to help them with their craft?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my first seminar here in New York in May. One of the reasons I did it, bro, is because when I started this career in this industry, was super difficult. No one teaching nothing. It was so close, jealous people. It was difficult, hard finding the right information. You did a lot of mistakes to be where you are. And now, after so many years in my career, I have the opportunity to teach people. For me, it's beautiful, because it's all that I have to give it to the people is my knowledge, When I die, I want the people remember me like, okay, this guy do something cool. He shared his knowledge with us. So that's what I want. And that's pushed me to be, I think everyone has the opportunity to do something great. Why not? No, why not I cannot teach to people how can I do it? Because so many people ask me, especially new generation, people who start tattooing, they ask me, how you do this, how you do that. I always respond, I always give them an answer, but I say, I have the opportunity to do it, why not? So we need the beautiful moment to share knowledge. After the pandemic, so many people start to learn about themselves, learning new things. And now everything's open like new door. Why not? We can share, share knowledge is the most beautiful thing. And it's the most beautiful contribution that you can do to the society is share knowledge. So that's pushed me to do it.
For sure. And it also comes back to like, the more you give to the people, the more you get back too. So I think it's a beautiful
That's true.
That's true. But last but not least, man, like, we co-sign you at COSIGN Magazine, support you. But who is a tattoo artist?
Thank you.
Yeah, who is a tattoo artist that you admire and look up to and feel like the world should know about?
Oh man, Robert Hernandez for sure. Robert Hernandez is an artist for Spain. He's a legend in the industry. But I think another thing is happening now is that the tattoo industry need to never forget who was the people to start this, who was the people to give us the opportunity to be or stay where we are. Artists like Rob Hernandez is a legend. He's a legend guy. This guy, he created beautiful pigs back in the time, the 80s and the 90s. This guy created amazing pigs I never imagined that could happen.
Right.
And I think this is a guy that for sure I will be supporting so many times. I think people need to know this guy for sure.
We'll definitely make sure of that, man.
Yeah.
I have family in Brooklyn too, so when I come out there this summer, I got to come to the studio, kind of come
For
see.
sure, man. Anytime, let me know. Let's do something for you, something cool. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
got to book an appointment. Got to come see you, man. But I want to say thank you for your time. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure speaking with you, man. And we have your socials. We'll put all the socials on here so that people can follow you. And we just want to say, man, we appreciate you from sharing your story and sharing the knowledge so the other tattoo artists
Thank
can
you.
follow your blueprint. But yeah, thanks for your time, man. And we'll definitely be in touch. And we look forward to supporting you more.
Thank you. And thank you for this window, to because again, it's you sharing voice, and that's beautiful.
Right.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that, and thank you for people like you to create this small window to people see new artists. That's beautiful, man. Thank you for that, 100%. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you, and I'll see you in
Thank
Brooklyn.
you, my man. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Bye, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for supporting COSIGN Magazine by watching this video. If you really enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.